Kazam! Oh, there's always that awful moment where you think no one's going to turn up. Let's get yourself set up here. I think we're good. I think we're good. I think we're good. Oh, I just forgotten to do something. Hang on a minute. I forgot to do something. Hang on a minute. I was going to do that. Let's do that. Right, done it. Right, here we go. Done it at last. Hello everyone and welcome back to another Hookster Talks on this Thursday evening. Is it Thursday? I lose count of the days. Yes, it is Thursday evening. Welcome back for me and Mr. TB the Bear. Yes, the #1 Lewis Hamilton fan. Still can't work out why. Still can't. No. Right, let's get straight into the comments. See where are we? Are we over here? Paddock69, yes, he says, worst the season, not even close. There you go. I think he's talking about Spa Frankie Champs. Spa Frankie Champs, yes. I was having a little debate earlier about your namesake, yes, on their channel, because they said that Spa should be taken off the calendar. Yes, and so of course, as you know, the Hookster was not happy with that, so he had to do a reply. Anyway, we'll move on. Hello, Mr. Champ92. Welcome to the stream. He says, "Hey, Dave, Hookster and TB." Yes, that's us. That's us. Time to spam some more XP. Yep, there he goes. There he goes. Wakey, wakey, Dave. The Belgian snooze fest. I know. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. And you know what the most amazing thing about it was? Is that I've heard from so many people who actually enjoyed the race. I mean, you know, good luck to you if you did. Fantastic. Me, myself, I fell asleep. But yeah, I had lots of people saying, yeah, it was a really good race. I was like, okay. I think it's just me then. I must be getting very, very old now. Very, very old indeed. But yeah, I say lots of people said, yeah, it was a great race. Great race. It's more interesting to look at how Dave takes his nap than watching F1 as of recent. Let's be real, and getting tired of Piastri and Norris as well. Yes. Hello, Shane. Welcome to the stream. He says, hi, Dave. Yeah, I'm doing pretty well, mate. Thank you. Hello, hello, Mr. Daniel S. as well. Yes, thank you. I'm doing okay. And welcome along. Welcome along to the stream. No, it shouldn't. It is capable of stinkers occasionally, but it's a classic track. Monaco, on the other hand, yes. Well, as I said to your namesake, Mr. Paddock69, as I explained, it's not Spa's fault that it rains, is it? Basically, I mean, it's a very, very good circuit, but unfortunately when it rains, there's not a lot you can do. I also suggested that maybe they should move it somewhere else on the calendar. Maybe a little bit further along in the year to maybe like winter time when it is colder, but it doesn't rain as much. You know, perhaps that would be an idea for Spa, because it's only Belgium, which is not very far. Oh God, my stream's failing again. No, we're back up. Sorry about that. I'm just looking at the stream indicator and it just went into the red. We're okay. We're okay. We're saved. We're saved. Damn YouTube trying to get me off the air. I'm sure it is. Now, as I say, Spa is a really good circuit. It's one of the greatest. I love Spa. But as I say, it's not its fault when it rains. Now, Spa is in Belgium, as a lot of people know. Belgium is not very far away from the UK. So the sort of weather patterns are kind of similar. Not obviously not the same, but they're kind of similar. And, you know, during the summertime, just like it does in England, it rains a lot. Yes. But as I say, if they pushed it further into like the winter, it would be a lot colder, granted. But I don't think it would rain as much because in England, we don't get as much rain during the winter than we do. In fact, we get more rain during the summer than we do during the winter. That's been the course of it for quite a few years now. So yeah, that's what I think. I think they should move it off the calendar, move it somewhere else, make it more, applicable to a good race. Because I'm sure it doesn't rain constantly in Belgium all the time. There must be, situations and seasons where it doesn't rain. And I'm pretty sure if they either move it forward to like the springtime, so it's one of the early races in the year, or move it back to, as I say, closer to the winter time when it will be colder, granted, but it shouldn't rain as much. That's my opinion anyway. I just think that where it is at the moment in the calendar, it's in the wrong place because it is, as I say, it's summertime. So yeah, that's my opinion. Spa was so bad, says that. Yes, it was. It was. But it wasn't as bad as 2021, don't forget. Yes, that was only 3 laps. That was so bad. So bad. I scored Spa, the one that we just had, I scored it a 4 out of 10. The one in 2021, you've got to give it, it's got to be a 1 out of 10 because 3 laps is just ridiculous. But at least in that situation, you had sympathy because they tried their best to get the race done, but they just couldn't because it was basically just pissing down constantly and there was nothing they could do. But they tried their best at least. Whereas this year, they just went ridiculous and decided that, we're not going to go out on full wet tyres because they're scary. Those tyres are scary. Yes, we only want our inters because they're safe and secure. They're not really because the wets, obviously the full wets have got far more grip than the inters, but that's the thinking right now. That's the thinking. Champ92 says the race was not a snoozer as Monaco, but also not spectacular either way. Let's put it like that. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Hello, Mr. D'Souza. Welcome to the stream. How are you? I'm doing pretty well, mate. Pretty well. Pretty well indeed. I hope you're doing well, because I'm doing pretty darn well. Yes. These current regulations will not be missed. Hopefully the new regs might make races better at the classic tracks. I'm hoping so too. I am really excited for next year. I've probably said this before, but I'm really excited because it's going to be a clean slate for every single team. Now, the news today, of course, is that Max Verstappen will be at Redbull for 2026. He's come out and said this himself because he wanted to squash the rumours. There's been a lot of rumours going around the paddock for the past 3 or 4 weeks saying that he was going to Mercedes. Toto Wolff was going to, sign him. And he said, no, that is not what was going to happen. And in fact, he said it was always the intention to stay at Red Bull for 2026. But obviously the rumour mill starts. And then, of course, we get the meetings with Toto Wolff. And then it's like, oh, he's going to Mercedes. But in fact, he hasn't. Let's just read this from Sky Sports. Max Verstappen, Red Bull driver, says he will remain with the team for 2026 F1 season. Following speculation over his Mercedes move, Max Verstappen has put an end to short-term speculation over his future, committing to Red Bull for the 2026 F1 season. The Dutchman, who has won 4 successive drivers' titles, had been heavily linked with Mercedes following a drop-off in Red Bull's performance and amid amid expectations the Silver Arrows will have a strong package when new regulations are introduced for next season. Mercedes chief Toto Wolff had admitted over the last month that he was in conversations over trying to sign Verstappen, but maintained throughout that the 27-year-old was more likely to make a switch at some point after the 2026 season. Verstappen is contracted to Red Bull until 2028, but is understood to have release clauses in his contract that could enable him to exit the team earlier. Asked about his future ahead of this weekend's Hungarian Grand Prix, the last before the sport's summer break, Verstappen said, "The thing is always that people are waffling so much throughout the whole season, while the only one that actually can or should speak is not speaking. And that's me. And I do that on purpose because it makes no sense to start throwing things around, and actually that would be the same for everyone. Some people just like to stir the pot. Some people just like to create drama. But for me, it's always been quite clear. And also for next year. I'm discussing with the team already the plans, the things that we want to change for next year. So that means that I'm also staying with the team for next year." Despite claiming that he's always been intent on remaining with Red Bull next year, Verstappen had until Thursday refused to make a clear public commitment to the team. His decision to do so comes after Christian Horner was sacked as Team Red Bull team principal and chief executive earlier in July after more than 20 years in charge of the Milton Keynes squad. Speculation over Verstappen's future peaked following Horner's sacking when rumours swelled that both he and Wolff were holidaying on boats in Sardinia. Regarding those rumours, Verstappen added, "If my boat is next to Toto's, then the boat is next to Toto's. You can have a personal relationship with someone even if you don't have a working relationship with someone. I've never made an opera. I don't like opera anyway. I just like to go on holiday and have a good time. I like to come here, do my best, race Formula 1 cars and then go home again. But for me it's been clear, and for me also for next year it's very clear where I'm at." So there you go, there's the confirmation. Maxi Boy Verstappen will be staying at Red Bull for 2026. So in terms of the driver market for next year, it's going to be very unchanged, at least with the top runners. Of course, Piastri, Lando Norris, they are of course signed for next year. Now, of course, it means that Toto can now sign the dotted line for George Russell, because that's been a little bit of a contentious issue. Or is it George Russell who doesn't want to sign the dotted line? Not quite sure how that's going, but anyway, hopefully they will sign now during the summer break. So George and Antonelli will be still at Mercedes. So no changes with the top runners. We'll have Max Verstappen at Red Bull. God knows who's going to be in that second seat next year. I say I've been a real supporter of Yuki Tsunoda, but I've got to come out now and say he's done pretty shit in that second Red Bull car. He started pretty well, but he's really dropped off, and so I'm not quite sure that Yuki's going to be the number 2 driver, and they really need a good supporting driver in that number 2 spot for Red Bull next year if they are going to push forward. They are losing Constructors' Championships basically because they can't get a decent driver in that number 2 spot, and it's hurting them. It's hurting them because year after year now they are not winning the Constructors. I mean, it looks pretty likely they're not going to win the drivers either, but yeah, it's not good. It's not good. Now, of course, Max has done this for several reasons. One of those is he's also got his eye on 2026. Like everyone who is excitedly waiting for 2026, we don't know what's going to happen. We don't know what the top car is going to be. We don't know what the top team is going to be next year because the slate is wiped clean. Yes, we are starting again from scratch. It's like preparing a meal with just the ingredients in front of you and you've got to get on with it. That's what it's going to be like for F1 next year. And I love it. But Max has taken the safe option. He's in a team that he knows well. He doesn't want to move into a team for next year that could potentially end up being not very good at all. I mean, imagine if he'd moved to Ferrari and they suddenly ended up only finishing 8th and 9th in the championship next year. He would have gone, balls, I should have stayed where I was. So he's taking the safe route. He's seeing how the teams and the cars are going to be next year. I mean, it's pretty much a certain thing that McLaren are still going to be in the same dominant performance next year. But of course, nothing is set in stone. It could all change, and it could be another team. It could be Ferrari next year. Who knows? Who knows? Even as an outside bet, it could be Aston Martin. Well, I don't think it's going to happen, but even Aston Martin could be up there. Who knows? So he's taken the safe option. He wants to see what's happening for 2026. And I think that's a very sensible thing to do. You don't really want to go start moving teams when you've got a huge regulation change for next year. So yeah, I think that's pretty smart for Maxi Boy. Pretty smart indeed. These current regulations will not be missed. Hopefully the new regulations might make races better at the classic tracks. Yes, I hope so. The start times need to be moved earlier for Spa. Yeah, that would probably do it as well if you move the... Thankfully, I will be going to my well-deserved vacation break tomorrow with my family. I can take a break from all the racing discussions and all this nonsense for a while. Well, congratulations, Mr. Champ 92, and I hope you have a very nice vacation as well. So, not really congratulations, but you know what I'm saying. Well done, and have a nice time at your vacation. And I will no doubt see you when you get back, whenever that is. Right, Matthew's got message retracted. What's going on in the chat, everyone? I've missed it because I was talking about Maxi Boy. What's going on in the chat? Hello? What's going on? I don't know. Anyway, I will continue. That's good. There's actually another Formula 1 game on the PS2 and it's called Golden Age of Racing. It features some of the F1, F2 and F3 cars in the 1960s, but it doesn't have real tracks. Oh, not another one, Shane. Where are all these games coming from? Oh my goodness. Golden Age of... I need to write that down. Because unfortunately, after the stream's finished, it takes about 2 days before the chat comes up. Yes. It's one of those YouTube foibles. Takes about 2 days. I can't find my pen. Can't find my pen, everyone. Oh, I'm not as well prepared. This is not an hour of a stream. I'd be well prepared, wouldn't I? I'd be pressing me little buttons on my Steam Deck as well. With the transitions. But I'm just not there. I'm just not there yet. I can't find my bloody pen. Where's my bloody pen? Who's chawed me pen? Well, no one, because I'm the only one here. Hang on. Hang on a minute. I'll have to do a document. Text document. Here we go. Golden Age of Racing. And I'll just cock that completely up. Golden Age of Racing. That's better. That's better. Right, I got that. Was that the right wording? Where's my OBS disappeared? There it is. Was that it? Golden Age of Racing? I hope so, because that's what I've written down. I've lost the chat. Yep, Golden Age of Racing. Right, okay. Was that on PS1 or... I think that's PS1. Oh no, PS2. PS2, okay. I will check that out. What's this? Oh, Matthew Bohr. What's going on in this chat? What's going spicy on in this chat? I don't know. I was reading that, Max, so I've lost it. Champ 92 says, the main issue is the amount of air underneath the floor. It's like a washer. Yes. The race on Sunday was 1.5 out of 10 at best, purely for the fact it was a full race. There you go. He'll be gone after 26. Yeah, I think he will be after 26. He'll be gone. But he's made the sensible decision to stay there, as I say. I'm just wondering, though, how long he would like to put up with it because he's moaning now about the lack of competitiveness. My stream's going again. Stand by, everyone. My stream's gone in the red. Hang on. Oh no, I've lost connection. Oh no, I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. Oh, what the hell? Anyway, hopefully you didn't lose me there. Maybe just for just a second. Yeah, as I say, I think he will be gone for 26. I'm just wondering how long he's going to put up with an uncompetitive car. I mean, he's moaning now because he's not, winning races, and he's only halfway through the season in this year. Next year, of course, if he's not going to be winning any races at all next year, I just don't know how long he's going to last before he gets totally fed up. Not very long, I shouldn't think. But anyway, we will continue, which is more than my bloody internet is, because it keeps going in the red. Will you please recover? Oh my god. No, we're back in the red again. Now we're back in the yellow. Right, that'll do. Matthew says Vettel and Webber days at Red Bull were when F1 was at its peak. Oh yeah, absolutely. They were great days. Hello, says Mr. Helium Trophy. Hello to you. It might be goodbye for me because my stream is just it's not hanging in there, lads. It's not hanging in there at all. No, it is not hanging in there at all. It is not. Why am I broadcasting at 60 frames a second when my camera only outputs 30 frames a second? I'm not quite sure. I might have to look at that, because I shouldn't be broadcasting at 60 frames a second. That might be too many frames. I don't know if I can look at it while I'm streaming. Yeah, I shall look into that anyway. Where are we? Hello, Mr. Helium Trophy. He will have signed a Merc contract for 27 instead. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Max also doing some waffling. Yeah, I like the fact that he goes on about people waffling, and he was waffling himself. Hello, Mr. Will F1. Oh my goodness, Will F1 is in the house, everyone. Yes, the best Yorkshireman on the planet, and the only Yorkshireman that actually supports me, because the other one doesn't really care anymore. No, can't be bothered. Can't be bothered. It's Mr. Will F1. Antonelli shouldn't be in that Mercedes car. Says, well, you heard it here first, everyone. Antonelli should not be in that Mercedes car. Wowzers. Good evening, Mr. Hookster. Well, good evening to you, Will. From your favourite... Yes, I just said it. Did you see that? And I didn't even read that bit before I said this. He is my most loyal... I've lost it. Favourite and most loyal Yorkshireman. There you go. I agree. Champ92 says Antonelli was overhyped right from the start. And let's wait first now you see the results of that. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Helium Trophy says, I think if he has to have another season. True. He started, let's say, quite decent, but only those few races. That was about it. And like he drives a Sauber tractor, he drives the Mercedes. Yes. The Sauber tractor. I like that. And they cook up a shit sandwich. Yes, they do. Will F1 says Hamilton should retire. You know what, Will? If I was ever going to look at a comments section, I would see that once again your devotion and love for Lewis Hamilton, Lulu, your devotion for Lewis Hamilton is just, it's beyond question. It really is, and it's great to see. Oh, my stream seems to have recovered. We're in the green and we're going for it. Thank goodness for that. Right, let's get on with the show then. Lewis Midfilton, yes, that's right. That's right. The new calendar for WRC is awful. Oh dear. Oh dear, I hope not. I've just started getting back into WRC again. I'm very, very, very enthusiastic about it again. But there you go. Sadly, it is. All calendars are awful in a way. That's true. That's true. Just got to look at the F1 calendar. Hello, Mr. Plynal Pessy. What does he says? Congratulations to Oscar's pastry on winning the Hungarian. Yes, it's going to happen. It's going to happen. Nothing is more awful than Paddock 69 calendars. Oh, spicy. We're getting a bit of spiciness in the chat now. I doubt it, says Helium Trophy. Germany is cooked either. No WRC and no F1. The only thing they have is what? DTM, and what they call DTM nowadays is the Nordschleife 24-hour race. That's true. That's true. And of course, I remember reading about this a while back. Didn't Germany lose the free rights to Formula One as well? So now the only way they can watch it is through a paid subscription. Is that right? I'm not quite sure. I seem to remember reading that a little while back. I mean, that's ridiculous. Even in the UK, we have all our other freedoms taken away, but at least we can watch F1 for free in the UK. Yeah, it's only highlights, but it's, you know, it's better than nothing. It's better than a blank screen. Even we in the UK, yes. Formula E have a double-header weekend in Berlin every year, says Will F1. Yes. At least mine doesn't have Saudi, Will. True. Helium Trophy says still the most dangerous 24-hour race is the Nordschleife. Yes, it is. At least mine have Monaco, Germany, Hungary and Monza, and no Paul Ricard. Thank you very much, Dave. I appreciate it. I'll be active and online for sure as well, but thanks, it will be fun. Yes. Nice. Nice. Nice vacation. I've got something to tell you, in fact. My nieces are on vacation right now. And do you know where they are? They're only at the bloody Monaco Grand Prix circuit. And do you know the worst thing about that? They didn't tell me. They didn't tell me they were going. They just started posting pictures to me. Yes? And do you know what they said? They said, where do you think this is? And straight away, within a few seconds, I went, well, that's the casino hairpin at Monaco. And they were like, what? What? They were trying to trick me, and yeah, they need to get up a bit earlier in the morning to try that. And yes, they are currently at Monaco right now, not for the Grand Prix, obviously, because it's been and gone. But they are on holiday in Monaco, and I'm going to have a few words when they get back. I'll tell you, I'm going to have a few words because that is not on. They didn't even tell me, no, until they got there. That's not cricket, is it? That's not cricket. You'd have Bahrain in June when the drivers will burn, says Will F1. Yes, let's have Bahrain in June. Yes. More like congratulations on winning the F1 Championship 2025. Lando still does way too many mistakes and doesn't have what it takes under pressure. Just take Spa as an example. Yes. Congratulations to Lando Norris for being a complete and utter bottle job once again. Yes, fantastic. Well done to Lando Norris. Oh my god, he just couldn't hold Oscar's pastry back, could he? No, I'm gonna do it. I'm not mentally strong enough. Don't have a go at me. That was his words. Yes, he said them himself. I'm just copying them. Plynal Plays says, bring back the V12. Yeah, bring back the V12. And while you're at it, bring back 8-track tapes as well, because I miss them. Yes. Bring back the V10s. Yes, bring back. I think actually, out of all the suggestions, I think the easiest one to implement would be to bring back the V8s. I think that would be the easiest one to implement. It's already been proved that you can run a V8 on a special fuel which is admission free. I saw one of the old was it a Benetton or a Williams, one of the old ones, going around on this special fuel, and it was running absolutely fine. So I can understand the argument for like V10s and V12s because they were very heavy engines and they wouldn't really. I mean, the cars now are very big and heavy anyway, so that extra weight probably would slow them down too much. But for a V8 engine, you know, it was not too bad in the weight department. They could bring those back and get rid of those horrible hybrid engines, which is going to be worse next year, of course, with the 50% electrical power as opposed to what it is at the moment, which I think is 64-36 split, something like that anyway. Yeah, next year 50% of the engine and 50% of the electrical power. Just get rid of them. Get rid of them and bring back the beautiful noise of the V8 engine. It's just, oh my god, I'm having a noise orgasm now. Wait a minute, let me see if I can. Oh, this will do. This will do. It's only one minute. Look, someone's done a comparison at the Formula One sounds. Oh, I've got to do this because I just missed the sound so much. Let's have a look at this. Let me put my headphones on. Otherwise, I won't hear nothing. I doubt if I'll get copyrighted for this because it's just. Sam, will you stop with the advert? But right, here we go. Here we go. Let me check the sound's working. It is. This is a real treat. This is a real treat for everyone. Let's remind ourselves at how Formula One used to sound. So in the bottom left, it's telling you the different engines and the noise they made. It's only 1 minute and 38 seconds. Let's go for it. Let's go for it. Let's remind ourselves. Let's just think of Murray Walker commentating the race. Oh my god, yes. Let's do it. Let's do it. Listen to that throaty roar. And that's the current noise they make, obviously. I mean, there's just no. Let's just do that last one again. There's just no comparison, is there? Let's listen to the last one again. It hasn't got that top note, has it? There's no top note to it. Let's do the V12 again. That's missing. Ah, glorious. Absolutely glorious. All right, let's get back to the chat. Bring back qualifying. Yes. Bring back pre-qualifying. Yes, absolutely. Bring it back. Norris has been crap this season, yet Piastri is only 16 points ahead of him. That's very true. Paddock69 says, nah, I'd had the season starting earlier to help with the temperature. Yeah, I can understand that, yeah. Should have been 32 points without that stupid spin in Melbourne. I added Germany back into my calendar, Will, says Paddock69. How early are you starting the season then? But would have, should have, could have. Your FE calendar is piss poor. Matthew says there are lots of people trying to make society more equal and enjoyable to work in for everyone. It's up to older generations to accept it now, whether they like it or not. Welfare over money. There you go. There's Matthew D'Souza. February means the season can end earlier too, hopefully in November. Still too many months and too many races though, says Will F1. I agree, Will. I agree. Take my headphones out. I agree entirely. Too many races and too many months and too many breaks as well, I do believe. We've only just had a 3-week break. Now we've come back. Now we've got Hungary this weekend, and we've got then we've got the summer break. We've already had a summer break. Now we have another summer break. Yeah, it's ridiculous. Ridiculous. Whoever sorts the calendar out, you want to sort yourself out, because it's stupid. Stupid. Too many breaks. Will says, what are you talking about, Matt? There you go. No doubt Matt will respond to that in a minute. What would your FE calendar be then, Will? Better than yours. I certainly wouldn't have 22 race weekends. I've put down 20 for FE. 20 races is still too many, unless if it's 20 races from 14 events. Helium Trevi says there's too many races on anyway. FE needs to expand and grow. Matthew D'Souza says, General Society. I would like to work in HR for a non-profit organisation. People don't like change, but change is mostly to help people. The stream is crashing because Hookster has to read hundreds of comments a week. This is it. You've hit the nail on the head, Primal Placer. This is why my stream crashes. Yes. So many comments to read out. That's what it is. I'm sure that's not the reason. I mean, you think of someone like what's that really popular stream? Is it Pokimane or something? I don't know. I never. I keep seeing videos keep cropping out in my feed for some unknown reason, but I don't even know who it is. Pokimane, is it? I'm sure when she does streaming, the stream's probably going like that with messages, which obviously she's not going to answer because she probably wouldn't be able to see her because they go up so fast. So no, I think it's probably just because I've got crappy internet. Yeah, but FE don't need 20 race weekends. I'd put in a mandatory rotational teams too to help with the load. Remember, a lot of FE drivers race in other championships, so it can't be overly packed. Toto Wolff overhyped Antonelli from the start. Yes, he did. It almost sounded indecent how he was going. Hello, Mr. Polish Eddie. Welcome to the stream, sir. He says, oh, hey, I'm late, but I made it. Well done. Welcome. Welcome indeed. Show Will my current FE calendar, Dave. Okay, I will. Let me just read out some more comments, otherwise I'll get so behind. I'll have to remember that FE calendar. If I get to the end of the comments and I haven't done it, send me another reminder. Congratulations, says Will, to SD Bestie Ocon on scoring points for Huss at Hungary. Huss fan TMY will be thrilled. Yes, absolutely thrilled. Shane says, what was the first Formula 1 game you've ever played, Dave? The first Formula 1 game I ever played was on the Sinclair ZX Spectrum. I know all you kids in the audience are going, you up, mate? What's a Sinclair ZX Spectrum? Yes, it was a very popular home computer in the 80s in England. Yes, it didn't translate very far into Europe or into America. In fact, I don't even think the Americans know what it is or ever heard of it. But yes, it was the Sinclair ZX Spectrum, and it was called Checkered Flag. Checkered Flag was what it was called, and in fact, I did a video about it. I won't bore you with the video, but I'll show you the what was the video called? Oh, 40 year F1 journey or something, wasn't it? Can't remember. There it is. Oh, look, it's me. It's me in wintertime. Yes. Because I've got my coat on. Right. I'll just show you the game. Oh, now Shane, this is what we used to use as controllers back in the day. It's called a quick shot. It was made by Kempston, and that was it. It's a joystick. Joystick. That's what we had for controllers. Fantastic. Anyway, I'm just going to show you this. If I can find it. Here it is. This is the first F1 game I ever played. And this was 1983, I think it was. When this came out. 1983. Pretty sure it was. Oh, why do your headphones always get tangled up? Come on. Why do your headphones? Look at that. Look, I've only just taken them off. And they're all twisted around each... Oh, God. Oh, this is insane. Come on. What? How did you manage to get twisted around? Oh, my God. Time I've untwisted my headphones, the bloody video will be over. Right, here we go. Where's it gone? Where's it gone? Here it is. So there it is, everyone. The first F1 game I ever played was called Checkered Flag, and it was for the ZX Spectrum. And this, ladies and gentlemen, was what we called graphics back in the day. Yes, that was it. You had a racing car. Look, it's got wheels on it. It's got nice red wheels. I don't know why they were red, but there you go. Now, unfortunately, when I first played this game, I only had a black and white TV. So all this was just black or white. Yes. So just imagine that. Now, of course, I'm doing this through emulation. So later on, of course, I did actually get a colour TV. So I went back and played all my games. And I'm going, oh, look, it's in colour. See, you kids, you don't know you're born these days. You don't know you're born with your TikToks and what have you. Hey? Hey? All you've got to worry about is whether it's in 4K or 1080p, and it's like, oh no, I want it in 4K. Yeah, go back to the 80s, right? We had to worry about whether it was in colour or black and white. But anyway, there it is, Checkered Flag. There was no racing. There was no other cars on track. You couldn't race other cars because there wasn't any. There was not enough graphical technology to actually put other cars on the track. So it was basically just time trialing. Yes, time trialing, and that was it. That was the game. That was my first ever Formula One game, and from that point I was hooked. And see if I can get the track select. There was the track selection. Look, Brands Hatch. We had Monaco, the Osterreich Ring, Scion Park. That's a made-up one, obviously. Saturn Sands, Micro Drive. But we had Paul Ricard, we had Silverstone, and we had Cambridge Ring, which sounds a bit rude to me, but anyway. And that was my first F1 game. And yeah, looking back at it now, it was pretty rubbish. I'm only not showing you it because I'm talking over it. I don't want to bore you with my conversation. It's just, let's just look at a little bit of it moving. So I think this was the race. As I say, no other cars on the track. There you go. Look at that. Look, you got a pit stop off to the right hand side. Oh, and you had all slicks and you died a lot. You died a lot. I remember that. Here we go. It was all going on back then in the early days. Look, we had fuel, we had temperature, we had gear changes, rev counters, we had our speed as well, which... And we died. I don't know what 20 is. Is that 200 miles an hour? I'm not quite sure. Amazing, isn't it? Oh, slick. Oh, and I've died again. So that was that one. I think the second one, that was that one. Yeah, the second one, the second Formula One game I ever played was Nigel Mansell. Nigel Mansell. Now, the graphics did improve, obviously, as time went on. There's Nigel Mansell. Look at him. It's Nigel Mansell. Ah, those were the days, my friend. Will we fall did never end. Ah, look at those graphics. Look at those graphics. Oh my god. Right, that's it. Nostalgia overload over. So there you go, Shane. That was my first game. I saw the calendar after stream last week. I used to watch F1 on RTL back in the late 90s, said Polish Eddie. Nice one. Nice one. Yeah. Paddock69 says, Monaco is a dump, Dave. Will says, Monaco is not a dump. Monaco is class, says Helium Trophy. Yes, I just love the opinions. I love the opinions. Formula E having Monaco as a double header is a fantastic addition to the calendar. I meant the place itself, not the circuit. It's very underwhelming there, just mediocre apartments around a casino, basically. Paul Ricard is more than a dump. If he suffers from depression, that's not good to be an F1 driver. This is very true. This is very true. And Lando has admitted that he does suffer from depression. So yeah, it's not good to be an F1 driver. Hello, Mr. Rugara. Welcome to the stream. He says, diving right in after a second year of organised question answering. Matthew Sue says, get rid of DRS, make qualifying more crucial. Yes, I wish they would get rid of DRS. Unfortunately, we have got DRS back for next year. But it is going to be different. It's going to be different. Yes. The rear wing is not going to be... The flap for the DRS next year for the rear wing is not going to be as big as it is this year. It's going to be smaller because you're going to have DRS on the front wings as well now. Yes, so you're going to have a little flap on the front of the wing, which is also going to move once you get up to speed. So... yeah, we will see. We will see whether that makes any difference or not. Personally, I don't think it will. So all these flexi wings they've been moaning about, they will actually have them in next year. Officially. The FIA says, yes, you can have them next year. So, yeah, we will see what happens. We will see what happens. Christ, yeah, it's just awful. Paul Ricard's an all-right facility, just rather remote, though I do admit the organisation there has always been questionable. Magny-Cours should be the French Grand Prix track if France ever comes back. Track needs a few changes though. Dijon for the French Grand Prix. Yes. Magny-Cours was worse for racing, says Paddock69. You have Paul Ricard on the calendar. It's shameful. Paddock69 says V10 sounded way better. V8s were just good, nothing more. Magny-Cours at least looks decent. Not really. Schumacher won with 4 stops and some other stuff. So he's having a Red Bull as your profile pic. So he's rating Valtteri Bottas over Eddie Irvine. He and Joey says, nice of them to have Imola there. Paul Ricard, Russia with, I don't know, being Russia. Even though on that one I'm with Paddock 69, Bottas equals Irvine. Paddock 69 says, V10s are the best. End of debate. There you go. V10s are the best. He shows the teapots are out. Yes, the teapots are out. Love it. Love it. Brian Peter says, boo the V6. Yes, boo the V6. What an absolute... It's just such a whiny, downtrodden, downplayed engine noise, isn't it? Oh my God, it's just like... it's just nothing. Just nothing, is it? Monaco should host multiple qualifying session weekends per year. Paddock 69's correct there though. Bottas equals Irvine. Monaco is unique, says Will F1. This sounds cool. He and Joey says Ferrari are uniquely V12. Yes, they are. I really missed the V10 and V8 engines in Formula 1, says Shane. Me too. Bottas would never challenge for a championship in any situation. Irvine is better. Player says pre-qualifying where you had 13 cars trying to qualify as the grid was too big. Yes, I remember those days. What was it? 36 drivers, wasn't it? Imagine that now. I think they should bring that back. I think they should bring that back. Just put all the F2 drivers in the mix. Yeah, and just let them fight it out and winner takes all. Yes. And I understand that would be a huge mess and a huge disaster, but in my world it would probably work out fine. Yes. But yeah, I can understand how much of a huge disaster because you got all the sponsorship logos and the names and yeah, no, it wouldn't work. It wouldn't work. Move on, Dave, move on. The fastest four made it into qualifying, yeah. Bottas has turned into an absolute reject, says Will F1. I'd have the calendar in stints, so the Asian stint, then the European stint, and so on. Yeah, that would be far better. I don't get it. I don't get whoever works out these stints. Yeah, you need to go back and get an A level in geography because it doesn't work. Paddock 69 is in charge of the calendars. At losing to mistake-prone Hakkinen. Paddock 69 not make the greatest sport of all time. Bottas wouldn't ever be close to beating an error-prone Hakkinen. He's enormously overrated. I could hardly make it much worse. I don't watch Formula E, not my thing, and it went on so many channels over the years. Yeah, I understand. As I say, I've explained before why I can't watch Formula E because my dad used to be a milkman and he used to take me out doing the milk deliveries in the freezing bloody cold. I was only about, oh God knows, 7 years old. Freezing bloody cold because those old milk floats back in the 70s, they had doors and I just left the doors open permanently. Oh my God, middle of winter, freezing my whatnots off. Yes, delivering milk. I was about 7, and so the noise of the milk float and the noise of those Formula E cars going around it just gives me nightmares. I can't handle it. I can't handle it. I get PTSD flashbacks. So I just can't. I can't watch it. I'm sorry. It may be a great series, but I just can't. I just can't. I can't bring myself to it. Bottas is much closer to Kovalainen, says he. Yeah, I agree with you there. He's very close to Heikki Kovalainen. Yes, he would. Correct, Mr. Helium Trophy. Planet Plenty says ITV4, Channel 5, BBC, Quest, Channel 4, Eurosport, TNT Sports, and then back to ITV4. Yes. That's like a shopping list of channels, isn't it? That's just crazy. Crazy. Really is. She'll just read the super chat, says Helium Trophy. Oh, you're talking about Pokemon. Yes. I expect she will just read the super chats out. Yes. I mean, it's understandable because I've seen a lot of those big streamers, and it goes up so fast. You'd never be able to read them out. So I can understand that. That's why people pay to get their messages they get to the top of the stream, don't they, for a few seconds, and that's why you get noticed. But you have to pay for it. You have to pay for it. Yes, just to get noticed. But yeah, I can understand that. Not a chance. I can't. Planet Places. I can't believe you know who Pokimane is. I know. I know. It's weird, isn't it? How I know who's Pokemon. What you got to remember though is I am not only a YouTube. I'm going to say I hate this word, content creator. I hate it. I hate saying it. It's just ugh. But I've said it now. As well as a YouTube content creator, I do consume YouTube as well. In fact, YouTube is my favourite platform for everything, and not just the crap stuff, but educational stuff as well. I always pick YouTube, and so I love it as a platform itself. And so inevitably, in that sort of realm of watching YouTube, a Pokimane video is going to crop up in my feed because she's very, very popular. And of course, eventually they will pop up in everyone's feed. And so, yeah, it's only been the last couple of weeks that I've even discovered this woman's existence, honestly. But I think one video popped up in the feed, and then that was it. I think I've watched about 2 of her videos now, but I'm done with Pokimane. No interest to me whatsoever. But yeah, so that's how I know Pokimane. Purely because some videos popped up in the feed, and yeah, but as to that whole lifestyle, no, it just goes straight over my head, which is not very easy to do. Well, in fact, it's a lot easier to do these days because there's nothing to stop it. But yeah, so that's how I know Pokimane. Yes. Oh dear. You know those shorts videos? I think one of those appeared in the feed. It was probably something, like a comedy one or something like that. Anyway, so that's how I know whatever bloody, I don't know. Pokimane, is it? Pokimane? Is that supposed to be a play on Pokemon? I don't know. But there you go. Yes. Get Posh Spice Victoria Beckham on this all seasons rubbish. Yeah, I've still got to do that. I will remind myself. Posh Spice. I've done it. Now I won't forget. Cadillac to get Perez and Zool. Oh my god. Perez, yeah, but I keep saying Zool, don't I? Joe, brand new Joe. Why do I keep? Because I see, just like that popular TV show back in the day. What was it? Catchphrase. Say what you see. Say what you see. So I see a Z and I say Zool. It's Joe, isn't it? Brand new Joe. There you go. I think Joe would be a horrible addition to Cadillac. Perez, don't know, but Joe would be, yeah, because he didn't do shit in Formula One. Let's face it, didn't do shit. Yeah, I will says don't bring Zool back. He's a reject. Pexy says I know what a ZX Spectrum is. To think Amstrad run into the ground. That's very true, and I still get PTSD flashbacks over that as well. Yes, just imagine your most favourite thing ever. I mean, for you kids, we'll say Sony PlayStation. Doesn't matter which one it was, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just imagine Sony PlayStation, and then just imagine a bigger company at the time. Obviously, that's going to be very difficult. Sony are massive, but it could happen. But just imagine a bigger company comes along and takes over Sony, and as Mr. Panic says, basically runs it into the ground, because that's exactly what happened when Amstrad brought out Sinclair Spectrum. They just, oh my god, it was dead within 3 years, I think, something like that. Anyway, just run it into the ground. Yes. And I was so upset because I was a Spectrum lover. I had every iteration of the ZX Spectrum. I had the little rubber keyed one, which was horrible because the keys, after time, the keys got stuck and they didn't work properly. I had the one with the proper keyboard and the toaster oven grill on the side, which you could cook some bacon on the side while you were gaming. No, seriously, you could cook your egg on the nice bit of egg and bacon while you were gaming. It was great. Yeah, it was called the George Foreman Sinclair Spectrum. Yes, +1 or something. I can't remember. Oh, it was glorious. I had every I couldn't stop myself, lads. I couldn't stop myself. It was back in the day. Yeah, I was working, so it was all right. It was all right. I wasn't doing anything wrong, but I couldn't stop myself. I had to get every single model of Sinclair Spectrum. I had the rubber key. I had the one with the proper keyboard on it. I had the +128, and then I had the +2, and I had the +3, which had a disk drive on it, lads. A disk drive. Oh my god, it was so amazing. This disc didn't have any games, mind you. No. So it just sort of sat there and looked at me, winking and saying, well, one day we might get some games in me. But no. But it was a disk drive. But unfortunately, one of the greatest decisions of Sinclair at the time was to always innovate and do their own thing and not copy everyone else. So the disk drive was only a 3-inch drive. Yes. Whereas everyone else had adopted the 3.5-inch drive. No, this is a 3-inch drive. Yeah, which meant it was incompatible with anyone else's stuff. So yeah, so if you wanted a floppy disk for it had to be a Sinclair's floppy disk. Oh, it was a nightmare, lads. It was a nightmare. It cost me a bloody fortune just buying parts for this stupid machine. It was a nightmare, absolute nightmare. But I loved it. Yes, the +3 I think was the last one I got, and then Amstrad took it over, and they just basically did the same thing. One had the cassette deck on the side, and one had the disk drive on the side, but then they called it the Amstrad, whatever. Can't remember what it's called. Amstrad Sinclair's, I don't know. Something anyway, but yeah. And then they just ruined it, completely ruined it, and all went tits up. But oh my god, what a glorious few years that was. Oh yes. Point standings says Will F. Yeah, we'll get to them. I'm dead. Point standings, we'll get to that. We need a 30-minute lecture. Point standings. That's at the end. That was Dave in the 1970s. Spectrum was 80s, early 90s, Will. We all know you love Dave's lectures about the championship standings. This is why I go for headphones over earphones. Yeah, I do prefer headphones. Unfortunately, I haven't got any spare ones. I've got headphones. I've got proper earphones downstairs because I love them. I don't like these bloody things. They're horrible. They're horrible. Apart from anything else, I've got something in place to stop this happening again. But unfortunately, a few weeks ago, I put these in my ears, and don't forget, these are very close to your eardrums, whereas an over-ear earphone goes over that. And a couple of weeks ago, I have put measures in place not for that to happen again. I put these in, and I was about to do the all seasons, and I pressed play, and I didn't realise the volume was on 100%. And trust me, that is bloody loud. And I'll tell you, I could not hear properly for about 3 days afterwards. I've got measures in place to start that happening again. Yes, the volume never goes above 20% now. But it was on 100, and I had these in my ears, and it was only for like a second. I mean, I've got bad tinnitus in my ears anyway, so it's not good to have really loud noises because it just makes it worse. But I could not hear properly for about 3 days afterwards, literally just on a couple of seconds. So make sure you take that in mind, all you kiddies out there with your earphones and your headphones. Very, very careful. Do not press play if you think for a second that it's on full volume. The best thing to do with earphones is to start the volume very, very low, gradually increase it to something that's comfortable, and then go from there. Never have it going at full volume, otherwise you will damage your ears, and you only get one set of ears in your life, and then you're buggered. Yes. Planet Play says ZX Spectrum was released in 1982. Yes, it was. And I was there, yes, down at my local Comet or Curry's or whatever it was back in 1982, and got my ZX Spectrum. I understand they have started making them again. I've been looking. I'm so tempted, but the trouble is, I'm thinking to myself, I might get such a nostalgia overload that you might not see me for about a month, because I'll be so wrapped up in this Sinclair Spectrum. So I've resisted. I've resisted. Let's see if I can find a picture of it. Is that the one? That's the one. Yeah, that's now the new model that is coming out, or is out right now. Oh, it's £90. Yeah, it's £90. There it is, the Sinclair ZX Spectrum. Oh, it's in demand. Look at that, 90 quid. And that was my personal computer, lads, back in the day, 1982. I was there at my local Curry's saying, I want one of those, please. But as I say, it comes with, I think, because obviously this is 2025, so all the games are on like memory card or whatever. 48 games included. And I just think that if I get one of those, you seriously won't see me for about a month. So I'm resisting. I don't know how long I'll resist for, but I'm resisting. Oh, oh, oh. Oh, oh, look at those graphics, lads. Look at those graphics. Oh, my God. Oh, 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 is that it? Oh, no. Oh, oh, it's too much. It's too much for me, lads. It's an overload. It's an overload. And of course it's HDMI as well, as opposed to the horrible old yellow output, mash up all the sound and the picture into one. Oh my God. HDMI 720p. Oh my God. 720p. Wowzers. I'm pretty sure the Spectrum only run at about 128p or something. It was very, very low in graphic capability. So for 720p, wowzers. Oh, oh, oh. No, no. Step away. I've stepped away. I've stepped away. Not talking about the Spectrum, KD. The Hookster probably got a colour TV from colour TV from Bullseye. Oh, why is it always a speedboat? Why is it always a speedboat? Yeah, I live in Grimsby. Well, I'm nowhere near the chopping water. It was always a speedboat. Yeah, it's just colour TV from Bullseye. We got our first colour TV in 1974. 1974. And the first thing I ever saw in colour was Tarzan. Yes, Tarzan. There was a TV series back in the day called Tarzan. And that was the first thing I saw in colour. So I saw the bloke going, oh, well, I can't do that. I can't do that. I can't do that thing, but you know the sound. And that was the first thing I ever saw in colour was Tarzan. Yes, fantastic. That was 1974. Now, of course, a lot of programs were made in colour way before 1974, but of course they were shown in black and white. So later on, you come along and you think, oh, why are these in colour? Because they were made in colour. They made colour stuff way back in the 60s. But of course, we didn't have colour TV in the UK until the 70s, early 70s. And it was 1974. We were a little bit early, in fact. We had a little bit of jealousy from the neighbours, in fact, because we had a colour TV. We weren't like the first people to have a colour TV, but we were up there. And yeah, we had a little bit of jealousy. Yeah, oh they've got a colour TV. So yeah, that was 1974. Yes, and I watched Tarzan. Oh my god. Colour TV from Bullseye. Damn. Racing Bulls are favouring Lawson, to be honest. Yes, they are. Doesn't look too bad given the hardware, says Payers. No, it looks pretty decent. The driver who could bore the arse of anyone. Yes, that Nigel Mansell game, on the other hand, was cack, even for the time. It wasn't that great. It wasn't that great. It was actually based on another game, and they just put Nigel Mansell's name on it, because I've actually got the other game and it plays pretty much the same, but I can't remember what it's called. But yeah, they just take Nigel Mansell's name on it to sell a few copies, because this was, I think it was 92, when of course Nigel had just won the World Championship. So yeah, let's make a few bucks here. But I've got the original. I can't remember what it's called. Obviously, it will be F1 something, F1 champion something. But yeah, and it's exactly the same game, just minus the Nigel Mansell connection. Nigel Mansell scored 12 points. Monaco is a great circuit, to be honest. They always say that. Was a great circuit, says Panic 69. Yes, goat, yes. Hence why I called it the teapots. Well, they did in the 70s. Yes, absolutely. The V6 sounds better on balls than in person. Yes. We need another FIA rant. One wasn't enough. Yes, we do. Screw you, FIA. Screw you. What are you doing? It did back in the 50s and 60s. The FIA. F1 2015 is probably the worst F1 game in the PS4 era. I quite agree with you, Shane. Absolutely atrocious game. Atrocious. No career mode, for God's sake. What were they thinking? What were you thinking, Codemasters? Well, it wasn't exactly their fault, because unfortunately time constraints, because they had to build that engine from scratch. It's the same engine that they use in 2025, by the way. Yes, because they can't be bothered. They can't be bothered. They come up with all these excuses every year. Oh no, we still use our game engine because it's a robust engine, and it manages to cover, 4K-ness now. We could do 4K with our game engine. It's nothing to do with that. They just can't be bothered to make a new one from scratch, because they know it'll take them at least 2 years, and they've only got 9 months to make a new game in, so that's why they don't bother. But yes, apparently, so I've heard, in the PC version of F1 25, it still contains elements. If you go through the code of the game, it still contains elements of F1 2015 in there. That's what I've heard anyway. Crazy. Crazy. I think F1 2015 was rushed, as it was released earlier than all the other previous Codemasters F1. Yeah, it was definitely rushed. And of course, they had to split, because half the team was still working on F1 2014 on the PS3 as well. So they had to split and do half of that, and the other half was working on a new game. When you do that, it never quite works. It never quite works. There's been lots of instances where that doesn't work, and in that case, it didn't work. It didn't work. Was your dad drink driving by any chance? My dad was constantly drink driving, Mr. Paddock 69. Yes. Yes. If anyone doesn't know, my dad was a alcoholic. Basically, I keep saying from the day I was born, but he didn't start being an alcoholic from the day I was born just because it was me. No, he was actually an alcoholic way before I was born. That's what I should have said. In fact, he started drinking when he was 14 years old, and it was a pattern. It was a cycle, because his dad was a heavy drinker, and so it just continues on from there. So his dad was a heavy drinker, and he became a heavy drinker as well. And I say he started drinking at 14 years old, and by the time he was literally 18 years old, he was drinking atrociously. Yes, and he continued that until he disappeared off the planet. Yes, but yes, as a milkman, he was an alcoholic milkman, because obviously back then there was no breathalyzer tests or anything like that. I don't know if anyone would have actually breathalyzed a milkman back then, because they didn't go very fast in milk floats. But if they could have done, he would have failed every single day, because of the topping up the night before. If anyone doesn't know about how alcoholism works, basically you're just topping up your supply every single day, and so you're basically, if you're an alcoholic, you're never ever sober ever. There's like, I think there's about an hour early in the morning when most of it's gone through your system and you're semi sober. Because I remember in the morning my dad was semi reasonable for about an hour, semi reasonable, but then of course, you know, he started drinking again. He would drink before he went to work. He could never drink during work. There wasn't that opportunity because, you know, as a milkman, and then he went through the ranks of being a milkman. Then he became a manager, and then he became in charge of his own dairy as well in the end. So yeah, there was never that opportunity. But you know, just before work he was drinking, and of course the moment he stepped through the door after work, it was straight for the drink as well. I'm gonna say something that you might find shocking, but this is the truth of alcoholics. Now I'm going back to about 1972. So you've got to look at the prices back then compared to the prices now. So this amount that I'm going to tell you now, back in 1972, would be at least 3 times that in cash equivalent if you compare it to today's prices. But my dad, now at this point, he was the manager of a dairy, so he was making very good money. Unfortunately, all of that money was going on his drink. I mean, we had nothing going through our childhood. There was me and my sister, and we had nothing. I mean, we'd go to school with holes in our trousers and stuff like that. Social services got involved at some point because they said there was, you know, problems with poverty, even though there wasn't, or there shouldn't have been, but there was. But anyway, enough of that. This may shock you, but this is the truth, and this is how an alcoholic works. My dad in 1972 was spending £250 a week on spirits, because he didn't do booze. He did spirits like, you know, vodka, gin, whiskey. Whiskey was his main spirit of choice, and of course, as everyone knows, even today's prices, whiskey is currently one of the most expensive you can buy. But he was paying out £250 a week in 1972 on booze. Just to give you an example, that's how alcoholics work. That's how alcoholics work. And unfortunately, because of that, he was also prone to violence. He was also prone to mental cruelty as well, and the whole family has suffered from that, and some of us are still suffering today. But yeah, £250 a week he would spend on spirits. As I say, luckily he was on a really good screw as a manager, but you know, us as the children and my mum as well, we had nothing. The house was completely falling apart. You know, we had shelves falling off the walls, plaster dripping off the ceilings, there was mould everywhere, and you know, everything else. The house was just completely falling apart. Meanwhile, my dad's going through £250 a week in whiskey and whatever, because that's how alcoholics work. It is an addiction, and they can't stop. I'm not going to go down that road, but we tried so many times to get him to even just admit that he was, because he didn't even think he was an alcoholic. And that's how a lot of it works. He didn't even think he was an alcoholic. He thought, you know, to him, an alcoholic is someone with a mess bottle underneath a flyover. That's an alcoholic. He wasn't. No. And we tried to get him so many times into rehabilitations, therapies, but you know, the person has to want to do that, and if they don't want to do it, then they won't do it, and there's nothing you can do to make them do it. So there you go. Anyway, let's move on before I get emotional. Would be on brand. Now, Dave would watch the Tour de France femmes. When a rider crashes band, you can see torn lycra on her bare backside. Oh, Mr. Trophy, stop it now. Stop it. Don't encourage. Yeah, don't encourage me. Oh my goodness. Oh, come on. You know he wants to. Lovely. Lovely jubbly. Leclerc making Raikkonen radio messages. Crystal Racing as Hulkenberg as driver of the day. Respect. Best are the Nintendo cartridge and massive records. Oh, I agree. I love them. Don't forget the different controller points for Sinclair. Oh, don't get me started on the different controller points for Sinclair. That was such a bane of contention. Yes, they had their own controller ports, and all the other controller ports, which were standardised, didn't work in the Spectrum. So you had to buy your own Sinclair ZX Spectrum controller as well. Oh my God. It cost me a fortune, lads. It cost me a fortune. Just for my overriding devotion to Sinclair, which then changed to Sega for the Mega Drive. I was a Mega Drive whore, and then I swapped to PlayStation. Yes. The F1 was so boring I switched to the Tour de France. I wish I'd have done now. If it wasn't for the fact that I was taking notes for my video, I would have switched over. Yes. Twiddly nonsense. You guys went in on Joe there, not going to lie. And you get a much better spectacle. My iPhone keeps turning the volume up for no reason. Yes. Yes, that's a problem as well. I've had that where suddenly your volume goes up and you don't realise why. Hello, Mr. Pranav. He says, hello, sir. Welcome to the stream. That's weird. iPhone love doing that. He'll have a third channel ZX Spectrum F1. I love that. I love that. Will that be the same as my failed Micro Machines channel? Yes. Yes. Stop it now. Stop. Okay, I'm gonna give you a little insight now into my defunct channels. Okay. This is very special. Just for all you lot out there. Maybe I should hide this bit in case something comes up. I can't remember if it does or not. Right, here you go. Where's it gone? Oh, hang on, I might have to move the chat over. Right, here we go, everyone. If you look to the right-hand side of the screen, these are all my YouTube channels. Yes. Little insight here. I've got a Dave Hook channel with 19 subscribers. Yes, that's me. That's how I started on YouTube. I started with that channel. It's just called Dave Hook. And I did film reviews. That's what I did. I did film reviews. And yeah, that didn't work out very well. Now, some of these other channels I use. I'm sure there's more than that. Hang on. Oh, that's weird. That's weird. I thought I had about 17 of them. Maybe they've got rid of some because I haven't used them. Some of them I just use for commenting on, because I know if they get blocked, I'm not really bothered. So anyway, that was my very first channel on YouTube, which was. Can I put that over there a minute? No. Okay, here it is. There it is. Got 19 lovely subscribers. Look at that. I used to do film reviews. Unfortunately, I had to stop because they kept taking them down. Not because they were rubbish. Well, I mean, they were rubbish, but they kept taking them down because obviously I was including parts from the movies in the video reviews and they didn't like that. So, yeah. I took that down. But that's my first original channel. When did I start that? August 12th, 2014. There you go. That's when I started. I got 10,000 views, lads. 10,000 views on that channel. Oh, my goodness. And that was my very first foray into Formula 1. Formula 1. So I could have kept that at the Dave Hook channel and it could still be going now as F1 Games PlayStation, only with my own name on it. But I decided to change or make another channel with F1 Games PlayStation on it. But the rest of them, here they are. Oh, these things keep moving all the time. These things keep moving all the time, lads. Right. So that's my original channel. Some of these others I just use for commentating, as I said, like Carmen Jordan Official. I just use that. But this is my extra F1 games channel, which does exist. I've got 82 subscribers. I used to upload the Monday night Elite Racing League videos on there. I just do them on my main channel now. But yeah, I used to do it on that one. But here is the infamous. Before I click on that, I'll just go through the rest. These are all just made up channels, including that one. That's the biggest made up channel there is. But no, these three here are just made up channels that I just make comments on, that I know that if I get blocked, I don't really care. So if you ever see any of these three around the YouTube space, that's me. That's me. And Cockney Dave's got his own channel as well. Look, he hasn't got any subscribers though. Everyone go subscribe to the Cockney. The Cockney needs your support. He's got no subscribers, the poor Cockney. It's actually difficult to find a channel with no subscribers if you look it up on YouTube. I doubt if you'll find it. But if you do, subscribe to the Cockney, because he needs your support. Yes. Oh dear. But so those three, yes, are just ones that I comment on. And that one, that's a load of old rubbish, that is. Don't even bother with that one. But this is my crowning glory. Was going to be. Oh my God, I had so high hopes. Look, I even did actually I didn't, someone made that for me, but a professional banner. See that? Look at that. Professional banner. You just move the chat over a little bit so you can see all of that. There it was. Professional banner. Someone made for me. I can't remember who did it now. But look at that. Micro Games PlayStation. Oh, it was just glorious. And there should actually be two videos. Where's the other one? There's the other one. Oh, that's why, because it's actually three videos. They were live streams. So if anyone remembers, they did make a Micro Machines game, I think 2015, something like that. And yeah, it was rubbish. And my whole dream of bringing back Micro Machines, and it was going to be great, and oh my God, it just shattered. My dreams were shattered, lads. Shattered. But there you go. Micro Games PlayStation. Oh my goodness. Right, let's get back to this chat. And you get a much better spectacle. Yes, you do, Miss Helium Trophy. iPhone love doing that. 720p is probably what the Spectrum ZX Spectrum cost back in the day. I can't remember how much it was. It wasn't very expensive. I think it was probably the equivalent of what they're selling this one for today, like £80, alright? Oh, that's annoying. I've got to look it up now. $1982, you say it came out? $1982. Oh my goodness! Wowzers me trousers! £125? What on earth was I thinking? The ZX Spectrum is remembered for its rubber keyboard, small compact-sized distinctive rainbow motif. It was originally released in 1982 with 16 kilobytes of RAM for 125 sterling, or with 48 kilobytes for 175? These prices were later reduced to $99 and $129 respectively. Well, I had the 48 kilobyte. Always had the 48 kilobyte. I didn't know many people bought that really low down one. But blimey, 170. I didn't pay 175 quid for it. I'm sure I didn't. I didn't remember like 100 quid or something. That's weird. 129 rings a bell. I think I may have paid 129. So maybe I couldn't have got it that later though, because I was playing that game in 1983. That's very weird. I'm going to say, of course, I could have got it on offer. That's possible, isn't it? But about £100 rings a bell. I think I paid £100 for it. Oh my god. And it's total cack if you look at it today. F1 Game ZX. Yes! F1 Game ZX. Yeah, that sounds more like it. Watching Bullseye and some of the prizes were ridiculous. Yes, they were. They've got that famous one on YouTube, haven't they? Where they won all that. Was that all those clothes or whatever, wasn't it? Yeah, stylish clothes. And the bloke, I think he had his boy with him, and they're just looking at each other going, what the fucking hell's all this shit? What the fucking hell's all this shit? They were waiting for their speedboat, and all they got was a load of nice stylish clothes. Yes, that was probably the worst Bullseye prize I think I've ever seen. One of the prizes was a remote control cat. Wow, really? A remote control cat. And one of the star prizes was a £2,000 Bullseye. That was it. Fashion spree. That was it. That video is actually on YouTube. Just that clip of them, and the bloke and his boy's face. It was just like, what? We come on this crappy show just to get a load of clothes. Oh, that was classic. That was. They'll take care of you like Drake and Rihanna. Time to rip apart F1 2001 again. Yes. Get Warwick Davis on this all season's rubbish. F1 2016 is an improvement on F1. Yes, it is. I agree. Whiskey. The drink of violent arseholes. Yes, that pretty much sums up my father to a T. I have to say, I'm not going to say any more, but yeah, that was pretty much it. Yes. I would like to say, though, to any youngsters watching, as I said, my father was and his father was, and it's like a natural progression of, going through the generations. That is not the case, because I am completely teetotal. I do not drink anything at all. I have drunk, obviously, I'm not a monk. I have drunk, but I have made a conscious decision not to drink. Possibly because I too have my father's addictive personality. I have that addictiveness in me. So for that reason, it's safer for me not to drink anything at all. Now, I have no problem with people who do drink. No problem whatsoever. So I'm not going to sit here as like a party political broadcast saying, oh no, you shouldn't drink. I'm not going to say that whatsoever. What I am saying is that what people say is wrong about, this will get passed on from one generation to the other. You alone are in control of your own destiny. And you can make that decision yourself whether or not you're going to drink or smoke or, take recreational drugs or whatever. But it is your decision entirely. And I made the decision that I didn't want to continue that line and I wanted to stop it. So I have. And I'll say I don't drink anything at all apart from Pepsi. Yes, I hold my hands up. I am addicted to Pepsi Max. Yes, the one without the sugar in it. Yes. I changed over a few years ago, and now that's it. That's my drink of choice. Yes, Pepsi Max. Can't stop. But there's no sugar, so it's okay. It's okay, really. But yes. So as I say, I too recognise that I have addictive tendencies. Yes, so I just don't drink anything. So yes, all you youngsters out there, you have control of your own destinies, and you do not have to continue the family line and carry on like that. And so that's it. That's all I want to say. Party political broadcast over. Get ready to drink, yes. Just a shame the Tour de France this year was the last one on ITV, and now it's on TNT Sports for over £30.99 a month. Wow. And people complain about the TNT coverage due to all the adverts. Yeah, I know. £30 a month. Wowzers. Wowzers. I think that's about what I pay for the whole of my cable TV, I think. £30 for the TV package. Not that I ever watch anything on it because there's nothing on it. But yeah, anyway. F1 2014 was just a DLC for F1 2013. Only this time it's released as a separate game. I agree. Will that Micro Machines channel be back, says Plessy. If they make another game, possibly. But it doesn't look like they're going to, because the other one didn't do very well. And it's been, what, 10 years? Yeah, I think Micro Machines is dead. Unfortunately. Unfortunately, I think it's dead. I think it's had its day. Oh dear. 2 people have watched the Micro Machines channel in the last 30 days, according to Social Blade. Have they really? Oh my goodness. That was me. that was me. I watched my own channel only because one of my friends on Facebook was winding me up about the channel. And so I went to it to get the video to send to them just to wind them up. And while I went on it, I actually watched the video because I started to watch it at the start and I went, oh, I think I'll watch this till the end. So those 2 people, I think I watched it twice. That's me. That's really sad, isn't it? That's really... The only way I can get views on the Micro Machines PlayStation channel is to watch them myself. Oh dear. Dave's hit rock bottom now. Oh dear. Dave Hook with 19 subs. Not yes. The Dutch show without any restrictions. Tour de France. Nice. Good. Player Play says still subscribe to... Yes. Yes. I have explained why that is though. Because I'm hoping... is this my... No, this isn't my channel. Where are we? Here we go. Where are my subscriptions? Yes, as I say, I'm hoping that one day that channel will disappear, and so I keep my eye on it for that situation. But unfortunately, I don't think it's going to happen. Don't think it's going to happen. Don't think it's going to happen. Now, as you can see, this order here is videos that I actually engage with and click on to either watch or to comment or to whatever use. So, Bass Rebels is just a free copyright music channel. That's why I'm always on it, because I'm always looking for free uncopyrighted music. So that's that one. And then we've got VJ Smile is just a music channel basically. But as you can see, I've got Paddock 43 on that list as well, and the Moaning Yorkshireman, that's up there because I was watching his Nibs video on Tuesday, the Cruel whatevers. Jerry Addison, I'm constantly watching that, constantly. And Drain Addict is a really good guy from Australia. He just basically cleans people's toilets and cleans out their drains, and I just love it when he sticks that plunger down and all this explosion of liquid comes out in all breath. It's just great. It doesn't happen very often, unfortunately, but sometimes it does, and that's what I watch his videos for, because I'm waiting for that explosion of brown to come out, because it's just great. And then of course we've got Mr. However. What can we say about the great man? That's why I'm subscribed to him, because he's my favourite. We've got that Dan Bartlett. Don't know who the bloody hell that is. Who's that bloke? Who's that bloke? Never heard of him. Mr. Pioneer. He does uploads of races at the moment around the Top Gear test track, and he's using all different old cars from back in the day. So go check him out. We got the Saturdays. Well, that doesn't need any explanation, does it? Really? And WTF1. And so if we keep going down, you will reach Mr. Limitless, and that sort of gives you an indication of my engagement level with Mr. Limitless. He's right down there, right down there. In fact, I really get down to these ones down here, these ones down here occasionally, but yeah, so that's why he's there. So yeah, I'm hoping that one day that's going to disappear. As everyone knows, I was a big fan of Mr. Limitless back in the day, constantly sending him messages. And he used to send me quite a few messages as well, in fact, back in the day, through the DMs and what have you. But yeah, due to circumstances, that no longer applies. But I'll say I'm hoping that one day that channel will disappear. But I don't think it will, to be honest. Don't think it will. There you go. Right. Verstappen, Russell and Leclerc will have 5 podiums, like everything else. XP spam, more XP spam. XP spamming winning. Can't bear being second, Paddock, says Alien Trophy. Yeah, never helium, never. I have a Verstappen mentality. Very good. I guess I'm Leclerc in comparison. The Pampas Ball. Jules Fuzzy's got the fat first winner of far. Yes, another episode I remember from Balls was when the star prize was a dining table. 2 guys won it. One didn't look happy with the other, was smiling, thinking it was a joke or something. A dining table. Come on. True. What mentality drained from bad strategies, Helia? Yeah, that sums me up. You just turned to an addiction to women instead, says Paddock. That's true. That's true. That's very, very true. Always say the journey is what you make it. Absolutely. Well done. Nice words. I can't drink Coca-Cola or Pepsi because caffeine gives me heartburn. True. I need the caffeine to keep me awake because these days I'm finding it very hard to stay awake. Yes. I think it's an age thing. But I need it. I need it. Because literally I start dropping off. Wow. He got away with it. He got away with it just like JS did. He did get away with it. I think he's only getting away with it on YouTube because I don't think anyone actually knew what the circumstances were because a lot of people on YouTube didn't even follow him on Twitter. So nobody really knows. I remember that video he posted, the apology video. Everyone in the comments was saying, "What's this about? What's going on? I don't understand." So that, you know, obviously they didn't know. So that's basically how he's getting away with it. He just sits there on the sidelines. And nobody really knows. Obviously, he's probably got very good content control as well. He's probably got keywords that are flagged, so anyone can't, you know, mention certain words. They still try to wind him up constantly, though. If he goes into open lobbies, they'll try to make their name as a PDF file. I've seen that happen all the time. Every time he goes into open lobbies, there's always someone in there trying to change their name to PDF files. So they're always going to wind him up when they can. Ex-Matty G channel is gone, says Matthew D'Souza. Has it gone? Yeah, he's got rid of it because he was too controversial. Yes, he talked about what was it? I can't remember what he called them. A specific name, but I can't remember. But he had to get rid of that, didn't he? What a wussy. Oh my days. WTF1 have uploaded 2 videos. None have had over 5k. I know. Ridiculous, isn't it? The Saturday, says Plan. Now listen here. Listen, there's nothing wrong with the Saturdays, okay? Nothing wrong with the Saturdays. Okay? I know they haven't made a record in like 15 years or whatever, but their stuff was pretty... All right, it was rubbish. I admit it was rubbish. I don't even care for the music. I just, you know... What can I say? They're female. What can I say? They're female. Can't say any more than that, can I? God's sake. JW, what a nerd he is. Have you been listening to them lately? I have been listening to them lately. Yes, that's why they're at near the top of my stream. Yes, I love the Saturdays. I'm going to admit it right now. I love the Saturdays. There you go. There you go. I'm not proud of it. I'm not proud of it. It's an addiction. I'm trying to keep under control, but at the moment I can't. And I love the Saturdays. There you go. Why haven't you subscribed to the Spice Girls? Who knows? I might be subscribed to the Spice Girls, but I might be subscribed, somewhere else. Yes, just so you lot can't find out. But yes, I love the Spice Girls as well. Yes. He needs something to perv on. Yes, I do. WTF1 are pushing on like the Kifness, to be honest. Yes. My mum went to see the Spice Girls in 1998. Cleopatra was supporting them. Oh my God, Cleopatra, I remember them. 1998, yes. Who's that, Helium? Dave or Nonceless? Dave, of course. Final Plessy. Fucking hell, I haven't heard Cleopatra being mentioned in ages. No, I know. There's a good reason for that, because they were donkey garbage. They were on top of the pops on BBC4 last week, along with Shania Twain, Corner Shop. Corner Shop. Was that Brimful of Asher? What Brimful of Asher? Was that the one? Can't remember. An Ocean Colour Scene. The Hookster listens to the Saturdays. Next week he'll be listening to Girls Aloud. Now, as you mentioned Girls Aloud, oh, I'm going to admit it. I like Girls Aloud as well, okay? All right, everyone laugh at me. I don't care. I don't care. Get into that video I sent you, Dave. Yes. Oh, no. Cleopatra coming at you. Oh, yes. Right, let's get into that video. Brimful of Asher, but on top of the pops, they played the original, which wasn't as good. I thought it was Brimful of Asher. Brimful of Asher, on your 45. Was that it? Was that it? Good, good. Right, where are we? Well, here we are. Right, this, everyone, was the original advert for F1 98. Please notice... Oh, it's only on for 30 seconds. Please notice how they manage to hide expertly the graphics in this game by mixing real world Formula 1 with the game engine. In fact, they show about 3 seconds of the game engine. Let me just move the chat over to the right a little bit. But they show about 3 seconds of the game engine in this video. But here it is. This is the trailer for F1 98. Now, when I first saw this, I thought, that's not bad. Then when I sort of looked at it back, I thought, but there's very little gameplay in this footage. Here we go. F1 98. Now, just imagine how excited you'd be if you saw this on your TV back in the day.
Rule 95. During practice and the race, the driver may use only the track. Rule 511. Spraying of water or any substance whatsoever is forbidden. Rule 76B. The scrutineers may require the car to be dismantled by the competitor. Formula 1 98 rules of
44.99, and I had to tell everyone I paid $49.99 for my copy of Formula 1 98. Yes, because I think I got it off one of the big stores who weren't discounting it. But yes, I paid 50 quid for that game. Now, I know it's only VHS quality anyway, but just look how they deliberately make it all blurry. It's all blurry, so you can't actually see the graphics. I mean, look. Look, it's all blurry. It's all blurry, Governor. All blurry. I don't know, I can't see what's going on. Yeah. There's a reason for
by
that.
the competitor.
50 quid I paid for that game. I was robbed. But worse than that, I got rid of it. And I had to buy it again for my channel. And it cost me another £5 off of eBay. So in total I've paid £55 for F1 98. £55. Oh my goodness. Yeah, it's a Helium Trophy. Good, good. Speaking of Spice Girls, they're back on Top of the Pops tomorrow, the last single before Jerry leaves. Ah. I'm beginning to question whether Dave is straight with his music choices. Listen, I'm telling you now, I am as straight as the next man, as long as the next man isn't Graham Norton. And Run DMC decided to stop them getting to number... I like what you did there. I like what you did there. Yes. I meant the F1 2001 review, Dave. Oh. Send it to me. Send it to me. I haven't got time to look. Send it to me. With a cack-handed remix that they paid Jason Nevins only $500 for. Yes. $44.99 for that rubbish. I know. I know. Rule 98.1. Do not buy this game. Save your money and just play F1 97, but edit the driver names to the 98 season. Exactly. That's what everyone should have done. That's what I should have done. But no, no. I had to go out and buy the bloody game. 50 quid. Plus another $5 from it. 55 quid. I've paid for that game. I demand a refund. Made the least bad team of Ferrari, Mercedes, Red Bull finish second. My granny paid £20 for it. It should have been the original game, but whoever was working put the F1 98 game instead. Oh dear, that's even worse, isn't it? It's if you're expecting the original one, you get that load of old cack instead. I just like to say I'm getting insults now. Someone sending me messages and saying, "This one, you tit." Yeah, it's not good for an old man.
This is the all-new Mario Kart World. Race around the world all together, anytime.
Sorry, it's volume coming out of there. Yeah, I'm getting called a tit. That's unbelievable. Right, here we go. Move myself up there. This is the F1 2001 review by PSW magazine. It's actually on my channel. Let's put the Nedders back on. I've got to invest in some headphones. I've got to invest in some headphones. It's no good. Right, here we go. I didn't mind too much, says Helium Trophy. Outrageous from them. How dare they talk to the elderly? Yes, I know. It's outrageous. I'm just a poor old man, you know. They can't call me a tit. I'm... Anyway, let's get on with this. Bloody hell, look at the time. There we go. Oh, that's loud. Oh, this music's banging. Banging, as you kids say. Banging.
Since the release of GT3, the benchmark for racing game standards has been raised immeasurably. But F1 2001 seems determined to take up that challenge with a blend of arcade action and precision simulation.
Did she just say precision simulation? Oh my goodness.
Since its last outing, F1 has received improvements to many of its graphical elements, including driver models, animated crowds and a dynamic weather system. You can actually see the sky clouding over before the rain sets in, giving you a good clue that a tyre change may be in order. The game modes consist of the quick race option, providing the obligatory arcade romp, along with the challenge mode, which presents you with a series of themed tests covering everything from the most basic driving abilities to performing pit stops in the best time possible.
And oh my god, what a pain in the arse that pit stop test was. Ugh. I had to do that for the 100% race because it wouldn't let me do a full race without it. Oh my god. I spent hours doing that. So annoying.
The final mode is Track Experience, which is very similar to GT3's S-licence tests, requiring you to complete the trial tracks as quickly as you can. Pit stops are a major consideration in this release, with EA promising that the race can now be won or lost in the pits, so you'd better get good at them. The pit crew will communicate with you via the radio, and may also make mistakes relative to your own competence. To get a quality crew, you'll have to prove that you're worth it. As in previous releases of F1, you can adjust the car's handling by selecting various driving assists to make your life easier. There are also 4 camera views and fancy replays to keep on top of the action. Not to mention the obligatory updates of the 2001 season, including all the
Who's driving his car, Stevie Wonder?
drivers, cars and teams you'd expect. Another big feature is the multiplayer versatility using the internet and iLink facilities. Here your options are tag team, handing over each lap, last man standing, where the loser of each round is eliminated, and advantage, which grants points for the best lap times. All this and an impressive AI upgrade mean that
AI upgrade? What AI upgrade? Oh my goodness. They forgot to mention about the yellow flag system as well, didn't they? That it's completely broken.
F1 2001 is making a concerted effort to compete with GT3 in the upcoming months and move ahead of Sony's impressive F1 outing.
Wow, what a game. What a game. Oh my god. Right. How dare you talk to the elderly? Yeah, time to rip it apart. They praised it ridiculously. They did. This is so damn bad. Notice the lap counter. Yes, I know. That's all they ever did was 4 lap races. 4 lap races. Yeah. Makes mistakes in the contents of your competence. Fucking hell, that's a bit much. Impressive AI upgrade. Have they actually played this game? No, they don't play it. They just talk over it. They just talk over it. What a load of cack. The way things are going, 5 pieces a second, the PR guy will just be like, yeah, solid year, went from second to second. Have I reached the bottom? I have reached the bottom. You can say that again, I've reached rock bottom. Right, bloody hell. I've got to go, peoples. I've got to go. Is Will still out there? Will, are you still out there? Here we are, everyone. The favourite part of the show. It's time for the current... No, I don't want your bloody shitty arse clothing. Thank you very much. It's time for the points, everyone. In first position, it's Oscar's Pastry with 266 points. Is he going to be world champion? Is he going to be world champion? I think he is. I think he is. I don't think Lando's going to catch him, to be honest. I know he's only 16 points behind, but I don't think he's going to catch him. Anyway, Lando's in second place with 250. Maxi Boy in third, of course, now confirmed for Redbull for 2026. 185 points. I'll tell you what. I reckon Max could possibly catch Lando. I reckon he could. Not saying he will, but I reckon he could. Possibly still second. That would be a great thing to see, wouldn't it? George of the Russell, where's my bloody contract, Toto Wolff, you bastard, trying to sack me for bloody Max Verstappen? That's a long name, isn't it? It's currently in fourth position with 157 points. Charles Leclerc in fifth with 139, the first of the Ferraris. And sixth is Lewis Hamilton, Lulu, with 109 points. Kimi Antonelli is in seventh place with 63 points. Huge gap between the two there. Alexander Albon is in 8th with 54 points in the first of the Williams. Nico Hulkenberg. Is in 9th place with 37 points. In 10th is Esty Bestie in the Haas with 27 points. And in 11th it's Isaac Hadjar with 22 points. Pierre Gasly is in 12th position with 20 points. 13th for Lance Stroll, also with 20 points in the Aston Martin. 14th for Liam Lawson in the Racing Bulls with 16 points. Level with Fernando Alonso. And in 16th place, it's Carlos Sainz, a very disappointing 16 points in the Williams. Bringing up the rear, we got Yuki Tsunoda with only 10 points in that second Red Bull car. Oliver Behrens at 18th in the Haas with 8 points. Gabriel Bortoletto got some points at last on the board. 19th place, and the rest of the losers are both the Alpines, and one of them's not even in Formula 1. Franco Colapinto. How long is he going to stay in that car? 0 points. Jack Doohan, well, we know how long he's going to stay in that car. Not at all because he's gone. Test driver now for Alpine, 0 points. So the best one out of that is Pierre Gasly in the Alpine with 20 points. Fantastic. Right, that's it, everyone. I've got to disappear because I've gone way past 2 hours. A load of waffle just to say they were paid by EA. Exactly. Had the image of the torn lycra again, didn't you, Dave? I did. Ah, torn lycra. Fantastic. Ah. Anyway, that's it for me. Thank you, everyone, for watching tonight for another Hookster Talks. I was supposed to be talking about the Hungarian Grand Prix, and I haven't even got round to it. I could basically sit here and talk a lot of old shit for another 2 hours, but I think I better go. You forgot the XP stat. Oh, thank you for reminding me. See, I need people to remind me of stuff. Yes, we will do the XP in a moment. So if you wanna spam the chat for the next 1 minute, please feel free to. Because I'm going to say my goodbyes. Thank you very much for joining me tonight for the stream. From me and Mr. TB the Bear. Yes, everyone's favourite bear. Hungry Grand Prix this weekend. Yes, it's bound to be brilliantly boring. Anyway, there's TB. So thanks for joining me tonight. To Mr. Paddock69, to Mr. Helium Trophy. Yeah, he started. See, look at it. Mr. Helium Trophy, Mr. Rugara. Who else did we have? Mr. Plynal Plessy, of course. Paddock69, I think I mentioned him, but we know he's there. Helium Trophy, yeah. I think I've got everyone, haven't I? Plynal Plessy. There was more. We had Polish Eddie. Polish Eddie, thank you for joining me. Shane Kuben, thank you for joining me as well. He was in there earlier. I remember Shane was in there. Who else? Did we have anyone else? There was one person who I can't remember their name. They did join me. Thank you for joining me anyway. I do apologise. I can't find you in the chat. Oh, Matthew D'Souza was in there as well. Thank you, Matt, for joining me tonight. And Champ92. Oh, Jesus. Oh, how can I forget all these people? I don't know. That's the file that goes. Right. Here we go. Hang on a minute, because I may have a little it's in the fried spam. Spam's for the fan. Okay, here we go. Here we go. I know I'm going to get copyrighted for this, so I'm going to lose out on my 7 pence that I'm going to make on this stream. Okay, so show your support for the Hookster, because he's giving away 7p just to do this. Okay, but here we go then, with the XP final list of top fans for tonight. Yes.
Buying the right monitor is...
If YouTube didn't keep showing me bloody adverts. Alright, here we go, everyone. Might have to put the chat over. No, I can't put it over there. Is that going to cut that out? Why does it keep doing that? Why does it keep doing that? Hang on. Oh, right, okay. Bear with me. Here we go. Here are the top fans. Oh my goodness, there's 11 of them. In at number 11, it's Prana Mali with 25 XP. There's a new entry at number 10 from Matthew D'Souza with 50 XP. Straight in there at number 9, it's Polish Eddie. And at number 8, oh my goodness, dropping down a few places, it's Mr. Will F1. Up to number 7, it's Daniel 7052. In at number 6, it's another new entry, it's Champ 92. In there at number 5, he's up 4 places this week, it's Shane Kuban 2023. At number 4, it's Mr. Regara with 150 of those XPs. And now we go to the podium positions. At number 3, it's Lionel Pesci. And at number 2, it's Helium Trophy. Which means at number 1, again, it's Paddock 69 with 225 XP. That's this week's top fans. Okay, enough of the music now. Shush. Oh my bloody good gold. There you go, everyone. Oh, I'm knackered now. I still can't tell you what profile is. It's still from a famous of a dancing girl, is it? Okay, that's it for me. Thanks everyone for joining me tonight. You have been awesome as always, and I will join you. I'll enjoy the Grand Prix, and I shall no doubt be back for another boring conversation about it on Monday. But thanks everyone for joining me tonight, and I'll catch you on the flip side. Thank you, and good night. I'm going to aim for 250. No doubt you will. No doubt you will. Spam, spam, and more spam. Thank you, everyone, and good night. Bury TB. No, I'm not burying my bear. I love my bear. Yes. Mwah. Mwah. It's okay. It's okay. Yes, this stream's for the over 18s. Yes, you don't need to verify your age. No, you're fine. You're fine. These streams. Oh God. Oof. No, she's a suicidal woman. Okay, I'm out of here, everyone. Thanks so much for joining me, and good night.